Two things that are not easy to understand: women and YouTube algorithms. When my channel hit the 5,000 subscribers milestone, I then also started to make YouTube shorts and slowly appearing with small videos on TikTok and Instagram. And yes, the depravity is even greater there. Now, I'm recording this shortly after New Year 2023, and these first dozen YouTube shorts that I've made has gotten a decent amount of views. This one, for example, got over 100,000 views from the Muslim world. But as pointed out a couple of months ago, in my first 10 YouTube Shorts compilation video, I engaged and spoke to many of you who are subscribed to the channel and has told me that you have clicked all on notification bell, but are still not being told by YouTube that I posted a short. Nor are they appearing in your feed. So, for that reason, I put together for you and the archive another compilation of 10 more shorts that YouTube perhaps didn't show you. Enjoy. You know, in Luke chapter 18 verse 19 and Mark chapter 10 verse 18, when a young man is calling Jesus good, and Jesus replies, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except God alone." Many Muslim propagandists will, for example, say that this statement proves that Jesus neither claimed to be God nor good. Yeah, no, not at all. Check this out. In, for example, Ezekiel 34:12, God says, "As a shepherd looks after his scattered flock when he's with them, so will I look after my sheep."
Psalm 23.
The Lord is my shepherd.
A lot of shepherd analogies. Now, with this in mind, Muslim propagandists and others, whom does Jesus then really claim to be in John 10:11? When he says, "I am the good shepherd."
Imagine a world where every child was born into a family between a husband and wife who honored their marriage vows to each other and to love each other for the rest of their life. That would mean that the horrible 70% statistics of murder, suicide, crime between young people from fatherless homes would not exist. How much less evil would it then be in the world? God knows. And I think that we can get a good idea as well. That's why God cares about our sexuality, because it really affects the world.
Many skeptics will argue that Mark has not only less, but a lot less Christology than the other gospel accounts. Oh, I strongly disagree. The short and sweet approach is just how Mark likes to roll. Already in Mark's very first sentence in his account, we've established that Jesus is the Messiah, Son of God. Jesus does not only do exorcism of demons, who cries out, "You are the Son of God," when they see him, by the way. Jesus healed every illness and disease brought to him. Like, for example, leprosy, people who were paralyzed, deafness, muteness, and blindness. Mark also records how Jesus has divine power over nature, like calming the storm, walking on water, supernaturally multiplying physical resources to feed thousands, and the power to resurrect. Screenshot time.
All religions are the same, no? Doesn't all religions teach the same? They all lead up to the mountain where God is. All religions are the same. This is quite ignorant slogan from pop culture, but popular. Because Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism are all fundamentally very different. Even Judaism, because just as Islam, they reject the deity and resurrection of Jesus, which is a fundamental core Orthodox Christian belief. God, life, sin, death, and salvation. On all these 5 points, all religions make exclusive truth claims that contradict each other. So they can't all be right. They can't all be true. The truth is per definition exclusive. So they're either all wrong or one of them is right.
Take all biographies 150 plus years before the time of Jesus, and if going a couple of hundred years after the time of Jesus. Jesus being close to the middle here. We end up with 100 biographies. 98 of those 100 biographies are anonymous. 98. The passing by Peregrinius by Lucian of Samosata from the middle of the 2nd century, and the life of Elias in the Historia Augusta. So not only was it normative for Greco-Roman biographies to not have the author's name, I will argue that Matthew, Mark, Luke and John were indeed written by those 4 men. Why? 3 reasons. 1. There are no competitive traditions. 2. The early church fathers attest to it and agree to it. They dispute on the authorship of Hebrews, for example, but not the 4 gospel accounts. And 3. Check out Papyrus 4 or Papyrus 62. From the 2nd century, it has the gospel according to Matthew on the top of it. So this is an old play card by the skeptic. As you probably know, the ancient motto of Oxford University is Dominus illuminator mea, the Lord is my light. And when you go to the Harvard University, it has been changed now, this motto, but it is Veritas Christus Ecclesia, truth for Christ and the Church. The important role that Christianity has played in shaping our society and the world as we know it today. not only the education part, but also in terms of hospitals, modern science, adoption, the whole thing. Could you talk a few minutes about that?
Yes, it's, as you understand, difficult to talk just for a few minutes, but I'll try to make it very short. If you look at the church history,
Luke's account, chapter 7, verse 34, includes that people were calling Jesus both a glutton and a drunkard. John's account, chapter 7, verse 12, includes that people were calling Jesus a deceiver. Mark's account, chapter 3, verse 21, includes that Jesus' own family thought he had lost it, that he was out of his mind. Matthew's account, chapter 12, verse 24, includes that people were calling Jesus demon-possessed. John's account, chapter 6, verse 66, includes that many disciples rejected Jesus and stopped following him during his ministry. I could mention many more. Not to mention about the many embarrassing details about the disciples of Jesus. If the end goal was to sell Christianity as a religion, and in ancient times, then why on earth would they include and write down so many embarrassing details about God incarnate? Jesus Christ, their Messiah.